Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Lucius P. Buchanan Mission Hills Mansion Home here at Missouri Southern State University. I'm Karen Sandridge, and I'm current president of the Alumni Board Association. We're thrilled to see so many of you here today and to help us celebrate this historic moment in Missouri Southern history. A day like this could not take place without the foresight of an amazing group of alumni board members over the years, especially beginning back in 2000 with their strategic plan. So many thanks to everyone involved in getting us to this point, and for those who will take us into the future with many more great things. And now I'd like to introduce you to another alumnus, our leader of Missouri Southern, Dr. Alan Marble.
I'd certainly join Karen and welcome you all and thank you for being here today. I see Representative Davis back there. Thank you, Charlie, for coming out today. Appreciate it very, very much. We are really grateful and fortunate for the growth that we're seeing on the university campus today. New buildings and expansion projects are pretty exciting and probably created the busiest time of recent history on our campus. But today, we very appropriately, I think, take a moment to pause and look back at our past. It's a day that we reflect on our proud history and where it all began, right here, this very site. The Lucius P. Buchanan Home has always played an integral part in the development of Missouri Southern State University. It was really a home of the upstart four-year college. It's where the original planning happened. And through the years, it's housed faculty and staff offices, classrooms, meeting rooms. It was once the president's office, I understand, and now houses the Alumni Association. Simply, this building has faithfully served this institution in almost every way possible. The restoration of the building began in 2004. In 2010, the doors opened to the Ralph Gray Alumni Center in recognition of Mr. Gray's very generous donation to support the project. So today, we are again celebrating this grand structure as we officially recognize its listing on the National Register of Historic Places. And I want to thank everyone who had a hand in contributing to this outstanding achievement, as we are delighted that this remarkable facility will forever be recognized as one of the elite buildings, not only in our region, but in the entire country. However, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out a few important people in this process. Brad Bell couldn't be here in front of very grateful. Alan Shirley, thank you, and Lee Powell. Well, those three need a round of applause. So please. And we're very grateful for your efforts, and we couldn't be more delighted that you were successful in the quest to have this wonderful building on the National Register. And we're delighted that you all could be here for this celebration today. So thank you all for coming.
Good afternoon. This is a proud day for Missouri Southern State University and a great day to give thanks. We have so many reasons to be thankful for. We thank Lucius Buchanan for building this fabulous Spanish Revival style home in 1926. We thank the second owner, Frank Wallauer, and his wife, Juanita, for keeping the grounds and home intact. They did not break up the property to sell in pieces, and the Wallauers kept this beautiful home in great condition. We thank the college officials for their vision to push for a four-year college and selecting this property as the future home of Missouri Southern State University. We thank Missouri Governor Warren E. Hearns for standing by his commitment to establish a four-year institution in Joplin. No other candidate was running for the highest office in the state agreed to establish a four-year college in Joplin. Governor Hearns' role in Missouri Southern history can never be undervalued, ever. We thank the local residents of the community for supporting the vision. Getting the community behind the four-year college plan was as critical as any. The crucial vote occurred in 1965 for a $2.5 million bond issue to provide the funding to build the campus. The voters overwhelmingly supported the measure. Just in Joplin alone, only one polling place out of 20 dipped below a 90% approval rating. This action resonated in Jefferson City with the legislators that the citizens in Southwest Missouri really wanted and would support a four-year college. We thank the Missouri Southern State University Alumni Association Board of Directors for creating a strategic plan in 2002 We thank Bob Higgins and Missouri Southern Alumni Director Lee Pound for their passion, vision, and direction. They saw an overwhelming need to save the building, and not only save it, but find a function for it. The function was just as important as the saving. Therefore, not only does the building have historical meaning, it has specific purpose, a home for all present, past, and future alums. It was truly a beautiful plan, and everyone during those early years that worked on the strategic plan, we salute you and thank you for your commitment and dedication to see the plan through. Your efforts are valued today. We thank Mary Helen Harrington and Ralph Gray for coming forward to restore the property. Having two major supporters allowed us to make this dream come true. The financial support provided the needed funds to do the restoration right. A host of others donated to the project, but Mrs. Harrington and Mr. Gray made the restoration possible. And please note, not one single taxpayer dollar nor a penny of state appropriations were used. We are forever thankful to Mrs. Harrington and Mr. Gray for their supreme generosity, as well as the other donors that made this restoration possible. Thank you for saving this historic building. We thank the Alumni Building Committee, who were so adamant and sometimes downright persnickety, we'd never know who that was, about keeping the historical integrity of the building. Simply put, we would not be here celebrating this outstanding honor today. Keeping the historical integrity was critical in getting the building on the nation's greatest honor roll. Today, we are here to celebrate a most worthy achievement. In my extremely blessed career, I've been able to work with some most extraordinary, talented group of people. At this time, I would love to acknowledge and properly thank them. First of all, I thank Charlie Nodler. Charlie provided great assistance with accuracy, fact-checking, historical image, and his general all-around knowledge of Missouri Southern history. Thank you, Charlie, for your time and effort. With every application, you need descriptive photos, both historical as well as present-day images. The present-day images tell the important story of the then and now. The photographs form a critical record that describes the changes and alterations of the building and how the structure has aged through the years. Thank you, Curtis Altmeter, for never tiring of my famous last words, all we need is just one more photo, a close-up of that or a shot from a different angle. You never once flinched or balked at my request. Curtis is a brilliant photographer. He has a remarkable artistic eye behind the camera's lenses. Charlie and Curtis are tremendous assets to the university, and it's always a pleasure working with you both. And then there's Chris Wiseman, our museum's very talented curator. Chris did all the layouts and set up the maps. Chris did the technical work on the document. His remarkable talents are endless. Chris never ceases to amaze me. Thank you, my friend, for always being there and for always making every project better. And finally, there's the extremely talented Shakira Rhodes. Shakira was so helpful in writing, editing, and formatting the application. I could never have done it without you. I had the pleasure working with this young lady at the museum as a Southern intern some time ago. Today, she's working at the University in Career Services office as a career counselor. Shakira is a rising star, and I know you will do amazing things in your career, and I encourage you to reach farther. Thank you, Chris and Shakira. You have been terrific colleagues to work side by side with. At this time, I would like for all of you to stand up so we can applaud your time, your talent, and effort. Please. But something else I would like everyone to know is that all of these extremely talented people have something in common. They are all proud MSSU graduates, which makes this project so much more special. That point alone explains better than any poster or commercial the true power of this institution. And isn't this exactly what it is all about? Southern graduates out in our community, making a difference and making our community better. I know MSSU is proud to have these great people. They are the definition of an outstanding graduate. You guys can sit down. I thank you. And I want to thank you all. I mean that. Thank you. One other person I must recognize is Mr. Alan Shirley. Alan is a longtime friend who is very passionate about saving, restoring, and acknowledging historical buildings. and that's why he is a perfect fit to serve on the Missouri State Historic Preservation Board. He has ably served for 9 years on the Missouri Board. Thank you, Alan, for doing a tremendous job of representing Southwest Missouri and for everything you do for the museum. In addition, Alan was extremely persuasive in convincing the state board to hold one of their off-site meetings in Joplin last year. And it was during their stay in Joplin that they were introduced to this great structure as they toured it, as well as some other historical treasures in Joplin. Thank you, Alan. One last thing, if I can get everybody to stand up, and those that are already standing, obviously that's a redundant statement, but if you could stand up for just a minute, I want us to all turn 180, and I want us to look over on the vista and see the tree line, okay? And that tree line is where Turkey Creek is. And what I want you to do is, when you're gazing at Turkey Creek, I want you to pretend like it's the early 1900s, all right? Now, obviously, we're not looking at the fields or the chain link fences, but we're looking at the historical trees there. And this, just for a minute, this is the view that Lucius Buchanan saw when he took a break from the mining near the creek and walked up this hill to look over this extraordinary panoramic view. So this is exactly what inspired him. He was down mining on the creek. He'd take breaks, come up here, and his idea was to build this mansion. So we turn back around, and you can sit down, please. This is not a chicken dance, you know. But as you turn around, what I want you to look at, obviously, we flashed to 1926. And here we are. We're looking at Buchanan's dream home, a home only a rich miner could build. And now, our last maneuver is to look to my left and your right, okay? And look at what has transpired. You know, the funny thing about history is you seldom get to see it visually progress like we have. Usually we have to resort to photographs because the old structures that connect us to our precious past are raised. Today, we do not have to resort to images. We have an actual 90-year-old building that connects this fascinating story in Missouri Southern history. I still get chills going in the building as I hear echoes from the past. I hear distant voices, especially from this very room, and that would be the far left room on the left, where College President Leon Billingsley set up shop, and he, with a whole host of others, planned and laid out the college with a long-term vision that someday, just maybe someday, this young college would be a future university. This is an amazing story, and it all begins with this very building, the structure that bridges the past, the present, and the future. You know, sometimes we need to stop for a moment and think about how far we've come and how much we've accomplished. This is one of those moments. One closing note I want to share with you is some statements from Michelle Dietrich. Michelle is the National Register and Survey Coordinator for Missouri State Historic Preservation Office. Michelle is a tremendous asset to the State Preservation Office and a credit to her profession. Michelle provided great assistance during the application process, and I thank her for her guidance and support. I invited her to be with us today, but she unfortunately could not attend, but stated in an email, and I quote, "I won't be able to make it to Joplin. However, I want to convey my sincere appreciation for thinking of me. Please relay how thrilled I am that this important resource was successfully listed." And her home run statement is, and I quote, "It's a proud day for preservation." Michelle nailed it. She is right. It's a proud day for preservation, a proud day for Joplin, a proud day for Southwest Missouri, and a proud day for Missouri Southern State University. Thank you. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Lee Pound, Director of the MSSU Alumni Association. I alluded to Lee earlier. Lee and her staff members, Megan Adams and Lindsay Baker, right over there, are three very busy bees, and their workplace has become a beehive of activity. The Alum Center has become a gathering place, a place to enjoy, to interact, and feel comfortable at, just like someone's home, kind of like Mr. Buchanan's. It's interesting that Buchanan not only made a lot of money and built this grand home, but he also loved to share his residence with others and entertain his guests. Well, we are staying true to Mr. Buchanan because his home is still open for guests, welcoming all that have ties to Missouri Southern State University. Lee, it's all yours.
afternoon, and thank you all for coming. Today we've recognized so many that have provided time, talent, and treasure. So many of our alumni and friends have made today's event possible. Some of you we've recognized by name, many of you we haven't. You have given money, support, very nice gifts. If you look in your program, you will see the original prayer that was given by board president at the time, Sarah Belden Ditto, who's here today. And Sarah was so kind to give us the plaque, the silver tray that she was given that has the prayer on it. This is just one of the many gifts that we have that are on display here that show the history of Missouri Southern throughout the many years. A few of the behind-the-scene helpers, again, we've recognized, but really want to thank Lindsay and Megan, especially Megan since she's ready to have her child and give us a new lion, so we're excited for that. But there's one person who's put their heart and soul into this project, someone who's not an alumnus, but has the heart of a lion, and is the leader of our pride, and that's Mr. Brad Belk. Brad, along with his wife Belinda, is someone who will take on just about any challenge for our board. From writing his 75th anniversary history book, to cooking up hundreds of hot dogs for homecoming and other tailgates on campus, to advising on preservation of historic donations like the one I showed you, and to getting this home placed on the National Registry of Historic Places. Missouri Southern is truly lucky to have Brad Belk on its team. Brad, the two words thank you are not enough, but you know in your heart how much you mean to our office, to the alumni board, and to this university. So thank you. Now I would like to quickly recognize current and past board members. We have so many board presidents that are past that helped do this, so would you please stand if you have ever served on the Missouri Southern Alumni Board. And that's leadership. Now I'd like to ask the following to come forward to assist us with the ribbon cutting. And following that, Brad Belk and I will unveil the plaque, designating this site as one that will now and forevermore be on the National Registry of Historic Places. And then we invite you in for special cake, cookies, iced tea, and hot cider. Although it's so nice today, we might put ice in the cider. So if the following would please come forward. Amanda Gardner's representing our student government. Dr. Alan Marble, President and alumnus of Missouri Southern. Mr. Mitch McCumber, President of our Board of Governors. Mrs. Karen Sandridge, our current President of the Missouri Southern Alumni Board of Directors. And of course, Mr. Brad Belk, MSSU Alumni Board Historian, someone we all call Mr. Joplin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize this historic home.